Hi, I'm Stavros and welcome to the NEC in Birmingham. I'm here for Autosport International. So yeah, it's all gonna happen in here, guys. We've plenty of performance cars to show you in this video. Now, I did plan on coming with a friend of mine to the show, but he couldn't make it, okay? So I now have an extra ticket and I'm giving away this ticket. So yeah, I have picked this young man at complete random. Let's just confirm you don't know who I am.
No.
You don't?
Not a clue.
Yeah.
Irishman.
These guys don't know who I am, so he is now getting a ticket, a paddock pass ticket, free of charge.
Thank you.
Guys, enjoy the show.
Thank you.
Cheers. There you go. Let's go back into Autosport and check out some more great cars. Okay, I'm joined by Simon here. He is racing this truck and he's going to tell me all about it. This is some truck, guys. Wait till you see this. Okay, Simon, what can you tell me about this fabulous racing truck?
Good morning, Stavros. This is what we call this truck the Beast. It's a Mercedes-derived truck, 1,000 horsepower engine, about
4,000 horsepower.
1,000 horsepower, about 4,000 newton meters of torque.
4,000 newton meters of torque, guys.
Yeah, and
4,000. Now, Simon, just to put that into context, a top-of-the-range Scania has 3,500 newton meters of torque.
Yeah.
And this is 4,000.
Yeah, and only weighs 5.5 tonne as well. So they're pretty lively. They're pretty lively. We took it to Santa Pod the other year, and we done standing quarter of a mile, 14.9, 105 mile an hour over the line. We come with it.
Wow.
From standing start. We don't do standing starts in the British Truck Race Association. We do rolling start between 60 and 90 kilometres an hour, and then when the light comes on, we all go with a truck length between us all.
And Simon, like, how many trucks would be racing in a race? What's the most amount of trucks? Is there a limit?
We have up to 20, and there's two divisions: B class and A class. A class obviously being the better, the more expensive European trucks, and these B class trucks, which are now coming up to the A class spec. We up to 20 in each group we can have.
And what's the difference between A grade and B grade? Like
A grade and B grade, there's a lot of factory backing with engines in A grade, and you can use Deere shock absorbers like Olin shocks and all different stuff like that. So there's quite a lot of different upgrades, twisted axles for the camber and caster, just things like that, and a lot more money.
But Simon, we'll just have a walk around the truck because I'm sure there's plenty to talk about on this truck. Now, Simon, the tyres, what way do they differ to a normal truck?
They are an A-grade casing, so they can actually be used on the road, but they are proper race tyres. But we use the same tyre. There's only two we can use. These are Jitties, but you can use Goodyears as well. Yeah. There's only two tyres you can use. They're about £380 each plus a VAT.
And what sort of PSI, Simon, would you put
we run quite low, 65 in the front
65, okay.
and 25 in the rear.
25 PSI in the rear?
But they go up by about 20 PSI during the race in hot weather, so too much in them, they overheat.
Yeah, because a normal truck would have, say 110 PSI at the front and maybe 95 at the rear, roughly. Yeah.
Just to get the traction on the back, because where the engine's put back in them, and the gearbox and the prop short, and we have got fixed axle in them, so like a go-kart, you've got no differentials in these, they're just straight through welded, so there's a lot of heat generated and a lot of power goes through the back tyre, so the heat comes up and the pressure comes up in the tyres really quick.
Yeah, we'll just have a look at the engine here, Simon, because it's set further back in the chassis.
You see it further back. We are limited to weight. The weights of these vehicles are 5.3 tonne, but 3.5 being over the front axle, 1.8 being over the back. But it's pretty liberal. So as long as it weighs that, you can have the engine is free. The engine can be put wherever you want to put it, as long as it comes under them weights on the scales.
Now, Simon, I had no idea that they were actually weighing axle weights for this class.
Yeah, they do. They do it with all of it. It's funny. There's a funny little rules involved in that still transpires into the road going trucks.
And Simon, you were telling me that this cab wasn't originally on this chassis. You put it on yourself.
Yeah, no, this used to be. I bought this truck from Finland about 5 years ago. It's a well a good pedigree truck that's raced all round Europe. It had an old Mercedes SK cab on it, and we just thought we'd bring it up to date with a brand new Mercatigo Axor cab on it last year, and then we just had the new livery done for this year to stand out a little bit.
And Simon, why did you pick a Cummins engine over any other engine, is there a reason?
No, well, it comes with the Cummins engine in it, and it's not about reliability really, it's about ease of getting, but now these Cummins are getting a bit more obsolete, so we have to up our game. This is an old mechanical Cummins, but everything's going to electronic now, so as the game moves on, because there's a lot of people there that smoke quite a lot on the overrun, so we're trying to sort that problem out. Just a basic 13-speed Eaton gearbox.
Right, okay.
You don't use the bottom range, you only use the top. It's a Scania rear axle in it for robustness and strength. Like I just said, welded diff as well, so it's direct drive.
And this is a small fuel tank, isn't it?
Yeah, they only run 80 to 100 litres in there.
All right. So how many litres, say, would you use in a race?
Well, 15-lap race, probably 40, 45 litres we use.
It's actually not as bad as I thought.
No, probably gets 4 to 5 to the gallon average. It's not the end of the world.
Yeah. I mean, there's some trucks on the road that are hardly doing it.
Yeah. No, it's quite good. And then we've got bigger turbos. We run bigger. That's all that makes these go fast. Really, is a bigger turbo and a bigger intercooler and the injectors, the fuel through the system.
Yeah. So we'll just walk around the other side, Simon, so that we can give the viewers a proper look.
That's one of the laws that we have to have. We have to have a remnants of a fifth wheel on there, but it's only fiberglass. Doesn't do nothing, but it's got to be on there, which is a bit of a silly rule, but.
A fiberglass fifth
wheel, yeah.
I've never come across that, and you've won a couple of trophies.
No, we've done pretty well. We've had a bit of problems this year with mechanical breakdowns with the engine. We've had this our second engine, but high attrition rate because obviously they're just standard vehicles tuned up, so they don't last forever.
And Simon, do you get many shunting on these races?
Yeah, you can do. You can go weeks race with no damage but when you do it with these, the damage is quite big because they're quite strong and a lot of momentum. We've got extra water. These are water tanks here. We have extra water tanks.
All right, for cooling, yeah?
No, for the brakes, yeah.
Oh, for the brakes.
The brakes are water injected because otherwise it just cracks a disc within 1 or 2 laps, just snaps them in half. So
God, that's incredible.
You do 2 laps and get the heat into them, and then you can put the water on. So it helps you in cooling and slowing down. And
so after 2 laps, you'd be spraying water?
Put them on full time, yeah.
God, all these details, guys. I'm only just learning all of this myself about these racing.
Yeah, just a simple 4-way braking system like a normal lorry. A lot of it is like a normal lorry. They're really more engineering than anything else.
Yeah. And Simon, like, say from the Group A to Group B, what on this Group B would you like to see coming down? And then Group B raising its game, or is there any?
A lot of Group Bs, including myself, have raised the game with looks and reliability, and that is the engines will have to go to full electronics later on. But it's a lot of later engines, the Euro 4s, Euro 5s, Euro 6, don't like having the power put through them. They're not designed to have the power like these old engines are. So I don't know how we're going to run with the reliability of them newer engines.
Right. So we'll just sit inside, Simon, and go down through the controls, because this is no ordinary truck cab, guys. When you sit inside this, really is something to look at and walk around and just see how totally different it is to a normal truck. This is quite eye-opening now for me today. So Simon, I'll go around the other side, and you can sit in and we'll go down through the controls. Okay, let's open it up and have a look inside. Of course, it's all reinforced. The door is very light to save on weight, and the window there. But fire extinguisher, of course.
Yeah, we have to run with 2 fire extinguishers. That's just for the rules.
Stick my foot up here. Now, there wouldn't be passengers hopping into these trucks.
No, we do put passenger seats in sometimes. We do passenger rides some places, but we take the seat out for race weekends and bits and pieces.
The dashboard completely gone. But Simon, I'm just looking at the steering wheel there. It's very straight, isn't it? Yeah,
it's just, you can have the steering wheel and the columns free, but obviously I'm more comfortable with that. We would put it to where I'm comfortable in driving it. Yeah. It's only welded in, so if you needed to move it for another driver or something, we can move it and make it comfortable for each driver where it's got to be at.
And you've got the bucket seat there, and
6-point harnesses, normal gear stick. That's just the range. We do. It's just like I said, a normal 13-speed Eaton gearbox.
Oh yeah, can you just throw it there and...
Yeah, it's just on the cable change. Quite hard to get in gear, but it's an old crash box as such. You come off the... You can hear enough. Once you're running, you can change it without the clutch, really. You drop 500 revs and it will take the gear up or down wherever you need to go. Normal switches on the dash here for wipers, air switch tacho, 160 kilometre tacho, because we're only allowed to do 100 mile an hour. We're governed to 100 mile an hour on the circuit because of safety reasons and crowd safety and so forth. So we run them. We run off a GPS timer light as well that tells you when you're over speeding, so you know where your speed is.
Oh yeah, and Simon, is it the same gearbox in all the trucks?
No, they all range. Some of the trucks still use ZF 16 speeds, but they're obviously not as robust as the old Eaton.
All right. Okay.
Older stuff is more robust for this job, but obviously they're getting more and more obsolete as we go on.
Yeah. And you've got the full roll cage.
Oh yeah, the roll cage is a major part of this. That comes to some money. They're 70mm tube, 5mm thick.
And Simon, what are these
gauges? These are
here?
water pressure gauges for the front and rear brakes. I can alter the pressure, because when it's wall or if it's raining, you need to shut. If you've got too much water to go into the back, when you put the brakes on, the back comes round on you. It's quite a balancing act.
I mean, Simon, like this is serious detail. Like, I mean, they're really, like, these racing trucks. They're certainly eye-opening for me today. Now, I had no idea that they were this complex. Like, this is.
There's more out there. This is pretty basic compared to some of them. Some of the top trucks are like 250, 300,000 pounds to buy. So the European truck. So no, this is quite low spec, but it's a good truck, a good fast truck.
And 1,000 horsepower and. God, it's and look, you can look right behind the dashboard.
Yeah, it's pretty basic behind there.
But I'll just sit in the driver's seat, Simon, and I'll just show them some of the controls there.
Yep, no problem.
Okay guys, I'm gonna hop inside the racing truck. My first time ever hopping into a racing truck. Obviously everything is compact. All the pedals are covered in checkered plate and on the floor. And we have the steering wheel here, really straight up to you. Great driving position, covered in Alcantara, microfiber covering there, great grip. Our Race Logic display. We have the speedo here, air pressure gauges, rev counter, battery gauges, more temperature gauges there, oil pressure, and your fuel gauge, of course. And we have the St. George's flag and D&G Assist, one of the sponsors of this truck, Goodyear as well. But look at the gear change. It's really high up compared to a normal truck. A normal truck would be kind of a bit down lower, but this is really close to you and well positioned. But yeah, I'd love to take a spin in this, guys. Can you imagine racing this? Yeah, I think this has made my day here today. Okay, Simon is here now and he's playing his own truck on screen, driving around a racetrack. So Simon, what's going on here?
Just getting ready to go out at Brands Hatch and see how lifelike it is.
Yeah, so there is his truck. So anyone can play this game online and drive around Simon's 4,000 Newton meter, 1,000 horsepower truck. So let's have a look at him driving around here.
So here he is.
That is incredible.
Want to join in online with truck racing, you can sign up to deltaonlineracing.com. We race on Forza Motorsport 7. It's free to join up, and you can download Simon's truck on here as well.
Okay, Simon, thank you very much for showing me around your truck. Cheers.
Thanks, Stavros. Really nice meeting you. Thanks for spending the time around the truck with us, and you can even play with this truck, as you can see, on Forza.
Yeah, that's great. Thanks a mil, Simon.
Thanks, Stavros. Thank you.
Cheers, guys.
But you're still in mine. But you're still in mine. But you're still in mine. But you're still in my head. I can't
E92. It's Danielle Murphy. Danielle, how are things?
Grand, how are you?
Danielle is going to show us all around her drift car. It's an E92 BMW. Danielle, I'll hand the microphone over to you.
Oh, this is going to be trouble.
And she can tell me all about it.
All right. So this is my E92, my new drift car build. It started life as a 320 diesel. It was donated to me, crashed. It was very badly damaged on the driver's chassis leg. As you can see, there's extra bracing and everything here. It was actually Christmas Day on 2017 that we were pulling this. We were pulling the leg basically. I fitted a 2JZ engine. The reason I fitted the 2JZ over a BMW engine was I'm not familiar with BMW. I know nothing about them, and I'm familiar with the 2JZ. So keep something reliable, something I'm knowledgeable about, that if it breaks I can fix it. So inside we have King bearings. We've Eagle Performance rods, custom Wasner pistons. Inside the head is ported and polished with Supertech valves and springs, buckets. We have DTA fast 1000cc injectors. As you can see, the inlet manifold it's an aftermarket with throttle. Turbo is Borg Warner 9180. That's going to be a monster to run. We have twin, I'm not sure if you've actually seen, we have two external wastegates, Turbo Smarts 245mm. These are the screamer pipes. I know a lot of people are going, what the hell are those? But realistically, we actually had nowhere else to put them. Because it's a twin scroll turbo, you need to have the twin dump. So this is obviously
Make some noise.
yeah, and some flames. Yeah, I actually just got these on Wednesday when I arrived. When I got to Autosport with the car, Cobra Motorsport made the seats for me custom. They're doing a really nice job now, I have to say. Sorry, excuse my rubbish there. But of course, if you look around, we have the Phoenix and the logo, Never Give Up. Yeah, these are fiberglass doors. To be honest, I'm a strong person, but even the standard BMW doors, I can barely lift them. So we've lost a lot of weight with that, which is great, because with the drifting, you need accuracy. You need get rid of weight you don't need. The wheels are just standard BMW. The stop tech brakes and calipers all around. We have KW suspension, the hubs, and there's an extra lock system on the front, which is Wisefab. So for the drifting, it gives that additional angle on the front wheels. Yeah, the roll cage was single source engineering. Actually, if you see my name and everything is on the side.
Yeah, that's nice done.
It's a nice touch. I've been building this car. We were due out last year. I was trying to get ready for Cannonball. We just didn't get it across the line. But
Maybe for the start line 2019.
Oh yeah, we'll be making smoke on the star line this year. Would you believe it wasn't actually meant to be this colour? No, I actually had in my head I wanted like a deep blood red candy.
All right.
And when I was trying to get it ready for a show, we couldn't get the candy colour quick enough, so I had to go to Wrap Direct actually in Clondalkin in Dublin, and I picked out a colour of the wrap. But I like things to be unique. I like things to be different, and it's completely random that the colour turned out like this, but it's so fitting to the brand and the Phoenix and everything about the whole story. Yeah, this is basically from the build. We actually had a donor car as well, just to take some pieces off, because
See it there, guys.
with it just being the shell, obviously we're missing stupid things like wiper linkages, certain BMW bolts. This was actually here last year. I brought the car over. As you can see, it looked ridiculous. It was a state. We still had the Rocket Bunny kit on the wrap, but I brought the car here last year just to show people that I want to come back. It's easier to visualize something when it's in front of you instead of the story. My voice is going more. The more I'm talking too much.
I think the voice is going to be finished off by tonight.
I'm too busy singing. See, this is the garage and patch tyre equipment. I actually won this ramp, the 4,000 kg hydraulic lift, last New Year's Day. So it was a massive addition to help actually build the car. With oh my God, until you actually have a lift and a ramp, you completely underestimate how much it's helpful. Yeah, this is an original Pandem Rocket Bunny kit. It's a very unique. This kit was only launched in November 2017, and it's the first car in Europe with this kit that's original.
All right.
It's an expensive kit, but it's very unique. Badass. PHAT fat.
That's great, Danielle. Thank you so much
Thank you.
for showing me around your E92 BMW.
You're welcome.
And this is going to be burning some amount of rubber.
Hopefully just the rubber. We don't do flames anymore. We don't like fire.
And and we'll be talking to Danielle again sometime in September for Cannonball.
On Cannonball 2019. See you there.
Cheers, Danielle. Thanks.
See you later.
Cheers, take care. Great! Okay, so last weekend you were looking at my Range Rover Velar video. I took one of those for a test drive, and look at this! I'm on the Velar wheel stand at Autosport International. So yeah, we'll have a chat with Fraser here. He's gonna tell me all about the wheels. Okay, Fraser, let's go.
Hi Stavros, welcome to the Velar stand at Autosport International. Velar is unveiled, and we unveiled only yesterday the VLR 9 and 10. We have a stunning new design here, and another new design unveiled yesterday is this one. They're the VLR 9 and 10, and featuring on the Range Rover Sport is the VLR 02, which is the wheel just over here. You can contact us in Rotherham, South Yorkshire, and visit our website www.velarwheels.com.
Thanks, Fraser.
Cheers.
Okay, so I'm now here on the Silverstone auction stand, and look what they have. They have a Volkswagen XL1. So it's my first time ever seeing one of them in the flesh. This is from 2015, and you can see such an aerodynamic shape on this car. Now it's guided there at between 90 and 100,000 pounds, but would you believe that it didn't even fetch over 60? So it was pulled. So yeah, I think the reserve was somewhere around 62 was the reserve price, but yeah, bids at 60, no sale. But they are a fascinating little car though. I mean, they feature a 2-cylinder turbo diesel engine. It's only an 800cc engine. Very narrow car. I'll give you a look at the seats there, the way they stagger on the interior. Now it does have an electric motor as well, a 27 horsepower electric motor. Now you'll see the way the driver's seat is staggered to the passenger seat. That's to make the car narrow, to make it more aerodynamic. It has a 7-speed DSG gearbox, and you can see the cameras there for mirrors. But yeah, it's great to see one of these in the flesh. My first time ever seeing one. But the drag coefficient figure on this car is only 0.189. So you're saying to yourself, well, what does that mean? Well, if you were to compare it to a brand new Mercedes CLA, which only just came out, that has a drag coefficient figure of 0.23. So it just goes to show you how aerodynamic these cars are. Now Volkswagen claimed that this had a miles per gallon figure of 316 miles per gallon, but owners have realistically achieved 150 miles per gallon, and the electric motor will drive you 31 miles on full electric. So yeah, the hybrid powertrain, little 2-cylinder diesel Volkswagen XL1. Really like this car, so yeah, it's a pity to hear they're not really holding their values. Yeah, very nice piece of design from Volkswagen. They only built around 200 of them, and about 20 of them came here to the UK. Yeah, very nice. And we'll just move over here to this 1989 Ducati Passo 908. Nigel Mansell used to own this, so we have a bit of history there with this motorbike. His signature is on the back of the bike, and that's guided at between 5,000 and 6,000. So it actually seems quite cheap for that bike. Hopefully I know what it went for by the time this video goes out. And we have a 1999 V8 Aston Martin Coupe. And look at this, we have a 1965 Ford Mustang. Great condition that as well. And it's only guided at between 25,000 and 30,000 for your 1965 Mustang. And we have a Studebaker there. And the Jag XJS beside an E-Type. So yeah, we're going to move it down here, guys, because we have a very, very special Porsche I just want to show you here. This is a 1973 Porsche Carrera RS 2.7, and it's guided at between 340 and 380 grand. So yeah, quite a collectible car this. Now it would fetch even more money if it had its original engine, but the engine was changed at some point in its life, so that's why it's not fetching as much as if it had its original engine. And we have the TVR Griffith there as well, class looking car that, and the F355 Challenge. But yeah, we have a very nice McLaren here as well. This is from 2012. There's only 6,000 miles on this, and it's hoping to get between 90 and 110,000 for your McLaren, the MP4 12C. And beside it, this Mercedes McLaren was guided at between 160 and 180, and it sold for 175 grand for your 2005 Mercedes McLaren. But yeah, I had no idea that they were fetching that sort of money. So they are still fetching good money, the Mercedes McLaren. I just want to move down here. We have the MGB GT beside the Ferrari 308 convertible. And we have this fabulous looking BMW 2002, the 2002, hoping to get between 38 and 44,000. That's a minter as well. And we have the old vintage Rolls Royce as well. Okay, I'm going to go over now and video the auction, because this BMW Z4 GT3 is coming up for auction. So let's go and see how much this car fetches.
Here at Autosport International for £105,000.
Harry, how are you?
I'm doing all right, yeah. You can't keep me away from Silverstone Auctions. I did a video around here, as you know, and I love the selection of cars this year at this Autosport show. I've nipped down, I've got my catalogue, I've got my paddle, going to see what's happening, and now Stavros69 has caught me, and I'm missing on these bargain cars just the other side. But
Better let Harry go. He has to get
I know.
down and beat on a car.
Got a job to do. Yeah, I've got to fill that garage.
Yeah, check out Harry's garage on YouTube.
Thank you very much.
Danielle, are you bidding on something? Danielle, what did you bid on?
No comment.
Say nothing.
Do you know what? I actually really have a shine into the Mark 1 Cortina now, or the Escort now. No, geez, I can't even talk anymore. My brain's not working at all.
Take two. Okay, we're going to have a look around. One of the star attractions at this year's Autosport International is the Porsche 935. Now, Porsche is only building 77 units at a cost of £750,000. And I was told there on the stand that they had 800 applications for this car in 4 hours. So it is well and truly sold out. So Porsche is going to have a nice time picking 77 owners out of the 800 applications. But yeah, it costs £750,000. It's not for the road. It is a race car, but you won't be able to compete in all races because it's non-homologated. But let's just have a quick look around this, because this, wait till you see the rear end. They are the tail lights, the brake lights. Would you even think that that is a brake light? Very, very unique looking car. So this is a kind of a birthday present to Porsche itself, building 77 of these to pay tribute to the original Moby Dick from the late 70s. So yeah, this is going to be quite something, but very, very rare, 77 units. Now it's based on a GT2 RS, so we have a 3.8 litre twin turbo flat 6. So we should have 690 brake horsepower from this Porsche 935. But it's getting some amount of attention today. A lot of people interested in this car. Yeah, really like this. One of the star attractions. So we might see it going up Goodwood Hill at some point. But there you have it, the Porsche 935. Pretty nice. Okay, I just grabbed Yianni. He's on his way back to his stand. Yianni, can you tell us what's on your stand?
So I've got my Ventador S in turquoise green, and I've got my Urus both in turquoise green, both with Nero kit, but I've got to go. Stavros 969, follow him. See you later.
Cheers, Yianni. Take care. He's off. Guys, I gotta go myself.
In the meantime, Helen, let's get action.
Okay, we're backstage here, and look who I have met. Mr.
Hi guys.
Shmee150, Tim Burton.
Good to catch up with you again. Yeah, we're back here. We've just had the final show of the day. I think, as you know, it's pretty crazy. There's a lot going on. I'm very lucky to be able to be taking part in the brand new Senna. I literally collected it a week ago, and here we are with this car inside the arena, being able to show it, as well as the DBS Superleggera that's alongside. I jump in with various of Aston Martin's works drivers for the show too. But
he was doing a small bit of rubber burning.
He was doing a small bit of rubber burning. Hey, why not?
Finishing it off tomorrow.
He was practicing ready for the show. You know, got to be on the ball here.
He's getting ready for the finish tomorrow. He's going to burn some serious rubber.
Definitely.
But yeah, that's and the blue carbon there. Look at the finish.
It's come out well, hasn't it? Yeah. It's a bit dusty in here, unfortunately.
Yeah,
but
all the fumes.
The contrast with the paintwork. Of course, for my channel, we've got MSO cerulean blue back, my kind of traditional signature colour almost, but contrast with the blue carbon came out really well. Yeah, it still doesn't, honestly, it still doesn't quite feel real that this car's actually here, that it's a real thing, but somehow it is. So
and next year we'll see the Ford GT.
Who knows what we'll do next year? Who knows?
And any hints as to what's coming to Top Marks?
Do you know what? I haven't got that far yet. Right. I haven't made a plan. We'll have to just see which way the wind takes us.
Toss a coin.
Yeah, literally. Or maybe bring them all. Let's see.
Yeah, watch this space, boys. Top Marks. I always love Top Marks. It's a treat to myself, Tim.
It is, and it's slightly different this year. You know, it's a different time. Yeah. So we'll see what happens when the time comes.
It's a week after the Grand Prix.
It is indeed. So there'll be even more going on than normal.
Yeah. But yeah, we're looking forward to that Top Marks Monaco. But Tim, thank you so much. McLaren Senna, DBS, Superleggera, Aston Martin, and we're going to sign out because we'll be drowned out
very quickly. Yeah.
With some noise.
The Briskers.
But, yeah, well, it's a great show.
Definitely.
Really is a great show.
Well, thanks for coming. Nice to catch up with you again, and no doubt see you very soon.
Thanks, Tim.
Cheers.
Cheers. Now we have all these cars. I've no idea what these cars are or anything, but hopefully this man here is going to tell me. So what can you tell us about these cars? Where they're raced, or what sort of powers?
We race up and down the country on all the top circuits, like the Brands Hatch, Croft, Donington Park. We're back to the Mile Oval this year at Mallory Park, which is very special for us because that's where the pickup truck started over 20 years ago. Right. So that's going to be special for us going back there. We're very lucky at the moment that we've got 9 of your top drivers out of the series racing in the live indoor arena this weekend. So they're putting on a good show. So everything's working out fine.
and they've been hitting into each other.
Yeah, well, you're always going to get rubbing in pickup truck racing, no matter whether you're in the live indoor arena or whether you're on the big circuits, because that's the name of the game. The 2.3 Vauxhall Fords, whatever your preference is for your engine, everything's governed by SHP Motorsport.
And what sort of engine have we got in this Ranger here?
You got a Ford 2.3.
Yeah.
And then you go to the Vauxhall 2.3.
All right.
So whatever your preference is, they're pretty much
they're very nice colours.
Pretty much governed by horsepower, so they're very, very equal in performance.
Yeah.
But it's a fantastic series to be involved with. It's professionally run, and it's a great weekend camaraderie.
That's great. Thank you very much.
All right.
Appreciate it. Cheers.
What is this? This is a little one for kids. Look. And this is what it looks like when it's completely empty, guys. Wow, this is a big arena. Check out the Rolls-Royce Phantom here. Black on black. Everything is black. The grille, unreal. And the wheels, we've 24-inch wheels on this. And if you want to follow him on Instagram, there you go, J_Cannon Run. And even the back lenses there are smoked. That is a pretty wild looking Rolls-Royce Phantom. Moving on from the Phantom, we have the Nissan GT-R, also black on black. And we have the carbon bonnet there with the louvers. Yeah, this car really looks the business now. I like that. So I'm going to swing over to Neil MacDonald. Neil, how are you doing?
Not so bad. How are you, Stavros?
Thanks for having me on your stand. So Neil, we were chatting to Danielle earlier. She's sharing the stand with yourselves.
She is.
Yeah.
It's the BMW Car Club of Great Britain, the official club of the UK. I'll just talk you through some of the cars if you want.
Yeah. Thanks, Neil. So what have we got beside
This
Danielle's?
This is Gareth Montgomery's car. It's an E36 4-door, and he races in the BMW Car Club Championship, and it's a 3-litre motor in there.
Any idea what brake horsepower?
That'll be about 230 brake horsepower in that.
230, okay. Then we move on to the 1 Series.
This is a bit of a beast. This is Rick Kerry's 1 Series, which has been transformed. It's got the E65 V8 out of an E92 M3 in it.
Oh, nice.
So this is tuned down to because otherwise it's around about 420 brake as it stands, but it could be more powerful. It's got a big back end in it, a big gripper diff in it, and big brakes, and the wide-bodied kit with like a touring car, because Rick was a touring car driver, British touring car driver, not so long ago. He raced a 120D in the BTCC.
All right.
A proper lad.
Okay, Neil, we'll move on beside.
Move on. Okay. This car here is a cheap, budgety car in the BMW Cup, which are built for people to go racing, entry level. So it's a cheap donor car, and then you put a cage in it, suspension, and a good early car for people to go racing. So it's a standard body shell, custom cage, Bilstein suspension, EBC brakes, and you put a seat and harness in it, and away you go. Enjoy your racing. Have fun.
Neil, what sort of money are you talking to get into racing like this?
A car like that you could build for £5,000.
All right. Okay.
So it's as cheap a car as you're going to get. This car here is very interesting because that was a BMW Cup car.
All right.
It's Kemp Denwood's car you've seen earlier on, and he's transformed it into a more powerful version, put an LSD in it, and he's going to put bigger brakes on it and race it in the next class up, which is Class 6 in the BMW Car Club Championship.
Fantastic.
This one's a little bit special. This was an ex-touring car, and then Jason Hollyhead from HRD got his hands onto it. And
look at the wing on this guy.
Yeah, that's his development really.
Yeah.
And
what sort of colour do you call this, Neil?
I actually don't know what colour. I did ask somebody earlier on. It's a BMW colour, but I don't know which one it is. It's like an E46 colour, isn't it?
Yeah, it's quite an unusual
but this is interesting. It's got an S54 M3 engine in it, so it's an E36 shell, but it's an E46 M3 motor on a big airbox.
The size of it, look.
You see, yeah, that'd be in the region of 400 horsepower in a light body shell.
Okay, we found out the colour of the E36. It's BMW Ice Blue Individual. That is the official name of this colour. So it's a BMW official code colour, correct?
We're very
What have we got beside it there, Neil?
This is an E92 M3, which is Darren Ball's car. He raced it in Enduro last year, which is about 2-hour races. Fairly standard, but it's got some lightweight bits on it, but that's still about 430 brake horsepower.
Right. Okay, I just have to show you this 1989 BMW M3 E30. Now, one little quirk I didn't know about these cars, because the owner was telling me that, you see the roof? Now, just look at the roof section there. You'll see the way we have a little panel here. That is knitting together a whole new section here on the back of the M3. So on a normal E30, it would be coming down to about here. So you can see the vents on the inside. That would be where the normal windscreen on an E30 would end. But BMW added on this section here for better airflow off the back wing. So I never knew that. All the years I'm looking at these cars, I never even noticed it. But yeah, it slopes off more at the back for better airflow. But yeah, this one is from 1989. Now, back in 1990, a year later after this model, on the M3 E30, BMW added a rubber seal between the bonnet and the wing, just for better airflow. And they also added on a rubber section all around the lights, just to aid aerodynamics all around the car. But this car could be anything now between 90 and 100,000, roughly around that figure. But this one's got 135,000 miles on it. And look at the condition. Wow, what a car.
Just before you go, it's worth having a look under the bonnet of this E30 M3. This one in particular, he's put a carbon airbox on it. So that's very different. Nice. And you'll see that he's had to move the reservoir for the brake cylinder because it would have touched. And he's refurbed and rebuilt that whole engine.
It's just incredible. The condition, and you were talking about the ABS as well?
Yeah, that's the ABS control unit down there, the ABS unit and the pump. And then he's got gas coilovers on this because it's actually a track day car, even though it's so pretty. And they're the adjustable top mounts.
You've got to respect the guy with the E30 in this condition to race it.
He's enjoying it and he's using it. But now he's come to the point where he's thinking it's too valuable possibly to do it. It's a shame when they reach that point. But if you look at that, that's Cinnabar red. That was the original BMW colour for these cars. They did about, I can't remember exactly, 3 or 4 reds in the E30 M3. I'm sure.
Yeah, I love these. Absolute class, guys. Okay, Neil, I'm going to leave it there.
No, hopefully you've enjoyed visiting the BMW Car Club GB stand.
Thank you very much.
Pleasure. Good
Cheers,
man.
Thank you.
Okay guys, that's where I'm going to wrap it up from Autosport 2019. I'm going to end it with Danielle. She's popping some champagne here. Get that cork on. Ready? You ready, guys? Go for it. Whoa! Guys, we're going to wrap it up there. We're going to have a drink of this. And
the official launch of the Phoenix Autosport 2019. You've been amazing.
Thanks. Danielle, take care. Guys, take care. I'm going to wrap it up there, and I will chat to you all again next weekend for another video. So until then, cheers! Oh, I went up my nose.
We'll start this again, seeing as Stavros is just an amateur.
And Yianni, what have you got on your stand? Can you just tell us quickly?
So I've got both my ventadors. Let me phrase that.
Private passenger leg on the driver's chassis leg.